My name is Ilyas Oksas, and I'm bringing truth to power here. I want to show you guys something. That's my union card. I'm a member of the Teamsters Union, Local 125. I'm not an active member right now, but I am a card-carrying union member. I remember my time in Coca-Cola, and management and union did not get along very well. It was a working relationship, but we were always butting heads. Whenever it was contract time, it was always a tug of war, and we were fighting for every penny, and they were fighting for every penny, and it was like a tug of war going on, and eventually we came up with a contract, and I think that was a very healthy relationship, actually. That's a healthy negotiating environment. The public sector, on the other hand, is totally different. The unions and the management, who are elected officials, the politicians, they seem to be a lot more closer, a lot nicer to each other. They go to each other's parties and balls, and they go to these dinners together, they celebrate together, they dance, they drink and have a good time together. That seemed a little odd to me coming from a private sector. Ultimately, they represent two different points of interest, and that collusion leaves a lot of room for conflicts of interest. When it comes down to negotiating contracts, there should be a tug of war there. There should be a healthy negotiating environment. I don't know, it seems to me that the politicians seem to be just giving away the farm when it comes to negotiating. There are reasons why. Like, for instance, these unions are allowed to contribute to campaigns. These candidates that are looking for public office, they're soliciting unions for contributions. When the politicians sit down with these unions at the negotiating table, are they really looking out for the best interests of the residents, which is what they're supposed to do? Or are they looking out for the best interests of their buddies in the unions? I just want to put it out there that I love all of Paterson's public servants. I love the police department, I love the fire department, I especially love the teachers. I think all of them are great. I think they are great public servants. Emphasis on the word servant. I was reading an article in the Paterson Times about a recent fire chief retiring. These are some of the numbers that they posted in that article. Let me bring you guys in so you could see. When he retired, the fire chief retired, he got a severance package of $284,000. And his final salary was $261,000. And his yearly pension is going to be $175,000 a year, basically for the rest of his life. I have no problem with people making money. I want everyone to make money. I want everyone to be financially secure. But the median household income for Paterson is only $32,000 a year, and that's a household income. So you have half of the population of Paterson living on less than $32,000 a year. Half of the families in Paterson living on less than $32,000 a year. A fire chief who is a public servant and he's serving that constituency to be making $175,000 a year and in a retired stage is just obscene. I mean, it's not the chief's fault. When you sit down at a negotiating table and you're negotiating a contract, you want to negotiate the best contract possible. So it's not the fire chief's fault. This is a problem with the politicians and their failure to negotiate proper contracts with city employees and unions. Because when there's a collusion between the unions and the politicians, they basically give away the farm. I don't hate the fire chief. You know, I wish the guy a nice, healthy, happy retirement. I don't hate the fire chief for making money. I think everyone should make money. Everyone should be financially secure. Everyone should lead a stress-free retirement. God bless the fire chief. But there's a problem here. There's a huge problem. The disparity between the salaries of our public servants and the salaries of the constituency that they represent. It can't be that much of a gap. This is obscene. This problem needs to be addressed. It really does. Because the city is broke, the city's in debt. We have to elect negotiators into office. Someone who can look out for the citizens of Paterson and negotiate and represent the citizens of Paterson, and not necessarily a workers' union. And there's another thing. Most of the people that work in Paterson don't really live in Paterson. There's conflicts of interests on several levels. There's a conflict of interest in a sense where if you don't live in a community where you work, is it possible for you to do your best job and really protect and serve that community and really look to increase the quality of life in that community when you don't have a personal stake in that community, aside from the fact that you're collecting a paycheck there and you're working there? How do we solve this problem? What is a fair salary for city workers working in a city where the median household income is $32,000? This is a crazy idea. Most people are going to hate me. Most of you are going to say, what's this guy talking about, this stupid wannabe mayor? What I would like to do is I would like to cap all city salaries at 2 times the median household income of the city. And if I was mayor, I'd be the first to adopt this. I wouldn't feel comfortable taking more than $64,000 a year from a poor city where the median household income is $32,000. I would consider it ungodly to take more. But I know there's a lot of city employees out there that are cringing and they're yelling at me right now as they're watching this video. I would like to do that in 3 years. Not right away, but in 3 years. And I just want to remind everyone that this $32,000 a year is not a fixed number. It can always go up, and maybe it could even go down. What I'm trying to say is make the politicians, the public servants, the city employees, make us earn our raises and not just give it to us even though performance is lacking. Our schools are some of the worst performing in the state. The crime in the city is some of the highest in the state. So I think everybody, all the public servants, everyone who works in the city, and the constituency, the people who live in the city, our goal is to increase this number. How can we increase this number? This is how we have to think. We have to think like a business. Because if Paterson was a business, it would be out of business a long time ago. If Paterson was a business, all of the city employees and the politicians would all have been fired by now a long time ago. It would have been bankrupt and it would have been gone if Paterson was a private business. But it's not. And it's being propped up with a lot of grants and a lot of help from the state and the federal government and stuff like that. I understand. But there's really poor management going on in the city. I would like to cap everyone's salary at 2 times the median household income, which right now would be $64,000 a year. It'd be right now. How can we increase Paterson's median household income? First off, I would like to ask all city employees, most of which don't live in the city, I would invite them all to come live in the city. What are you suggesting? I have children. Am I going to subject my children to that crappy education system in Paterson? Oh yeah, is that what you're saying, Paterson teacher? I can't bring my family to that crime-ridden city Paterson. Oh really, Sergeant, Lieutenant, Captain? The hypocrisy there is you have no problem working, for instance, in the education system in a city and collecting a paycheck in a city, but you would never send your kids to the schools in that city. You wouldn't want to raise your family in that crime-ridden city. But if you're a police officer, if you're a teacher, your job is to make the situation better. Like most of the teachers that teach in Paterson, they wouldn't want to bring their kids to the same school system that they teach in. Most of the police officers, they don't want to bring their children to an environment that's plagued with crime and drugs and all kinds of negative influences. But here it is though, the Paterson police, that's your job. Your job is to alleviate that situation. If you lived in the city, you'd be more motivated to decrease the crime. If you lived in the city, you'd be more motivated to better the school system. I'm looking at salaries, and there's plenty of teachers making six figures. There's plenty of firefighters making six figures. And I haven't really looked into the police, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of police officers making six figures in the brass department. If everyone that worked in the city moved into the city, this number overnight, this 32,000 median household income overnight would go up to at least 45,000. Another thing you can do, if you need some work done on your house, if you need a service performed, hire a Paterson business that hires Paterson employees. If you need a roof put on your house, if you need your bathroom redone, if you need to retile your kitchen floor, hire contractors in Paterson. If everybody did that, this would go up another 5,000. Another thing, when you eat out, go to Paterson restaurants. Restaurants in Paterson that hire Paterson people. We have all kinds of great restaurants in this city. If you want Italian, you can go to E&V. E&V is some of the best Italian food in the state. You got Colombian restaurants on 21st Ave. You've got Peruvian restaurants. You've got Middle Eastern, Turkish, all in South Paterson. There's plenty of restaurants in Paterson that you can go to and get a great meal and enjoy a great meal. If people did that, then you're looking at another 5,000. Another thing, when you want to buy something, shop in Paterson. I know what you're thinking. What am I going to do? Have to feed a parking meter and worry about my car getting broken into, or worry about getting carjacked or mugged? Why would I go to Paterson? Why would I go to Marshall's in Paterson when there's a Marshall's in Totowa? Or a Modell's? Why would I go to Modell's when I go to Modell's in West Paterson or Woodland Park? Why would I go to the Center City Mall to buy things when those stores are available outside of the mall, and I don't have to deal with all the crap that Paterson has? Now we're getting to the core of the problem. This crap that Paterson has, the stigmas associated with Paterson, and the issues that keep people from coming to Paterson and patronizing our businesses. Now we're thinking. Now we're feeling empathy. If you started shopping in Paterson, then this number goes up to 60. Okay, with the salary cap that I was talking about, at 32,000 is only 64,000. All the city employees are saying, I can't live on that. I can't pay for my nice cul-de-sac in North Haledon or my nice home in Allendale. If we do those things that I just mentioned, and the median household income goes up to 60,000, then you're looking at 120,000. The salary cap being 120,000, which is not so bad anymore, is it? 120,000 a year is a very fair number. But we got to get the median household income to 60,000. And we could do that if we just did the things that I just told you. If you need your car worked on, we have plenty of great mechanics in Paterson. We have plenty of great auto body shops in Paterson. We don't have a lot of great stores, I'm going to be honest with you. But we have to work on that. And then we have my flea market idea from my other video. Promote entrepreneurship, that would also increase it. If we can get the median household income to 60,000, you're going to see a bunch of companies literally begging to do business in Paterson. There was a complaint at the last city council meeting. There was a gentleman that got up and said, how come there's no hotel in Paterson? There's no hotel in Paterson because there's no money in Paterson. If there was money in Paterson, the people from the Hilton and the people from the Marriott, they would literally swim in the Passaic River to come to Paterson and build a hotel there. If there was money there, but there's no money. If we can get the median household income to 60,000, then these companies will come. Businesses do market research, and the median household income is a number that they look at. When companies are looking for markets to do business, and they see 60,000 a year for a city as big as Paterson, they will be begging to come to Paterson. There would be a huge renaissance in Paterson if we got the median household income up. The way the political situation is in Paterson, this plan is probably not implementable. It's not impossible, but we don't make it a priority. Our priorities are just taking care of the politicians and taking care of the unions and not taking care of the people. Because if this median household income does go to 60,000, a lot of the crime will disappear. People will have more opportunities. They'll be more entrepreneurial minded. They'll have more spending money. When you have money in your pocket, you're less likely to commit crime. If you're broke and you feel like you have no hope, you're more likely to go rob a store. You're more likely to go mug somebody. Let's get some money in the pockets of Paterson residents. My name is Ilyas Oksas, and I'm trying to get on the ballot for mayor, sign my petitions. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.